Boss man here says that it's time for a new products video, so that's what we're doing today. How is it going, guys? It has been a while since we've done one of these. I think it's been a few months at least, but we're getting back into the groove of things. It's crazy to think that we only have about a month or so left of summer, so we gotta make the best of the time that we have left. But I have our handy dandy list of products here, so let's jump right into it. Actually, before we get into these products, I do have a few updates for you guys. A lot of you have been asking me for some sort of progress report on the DRL bezels, asking me what's going on with that project and when they are going to be available. Well, I've got some good news for you. Production is set to begin here soon. We just finished up the tooling, so I need to get a final production sample, and once I greenlight that, production begins. So I would say these are gonna be available probably early fall, so possibly early October. Obviously, things can happen to slow things down, but that is my hope. Trust me, you guys aren't the only ones that have been patiently waiting for this. I want a set on my car as well. So as soon as I have more details, I will be sure to share them with you guys. Another thing I want to let you guys know about is the Labor Day sale that is happening today and runs through the 2nd. During this time period, you can use the code BYSUMMER, that's BYESUMMER, to get 10% off any of the Driven Media products. On top of that, some of them are already marked down, so you can save up to 25% off. There's 2 categories that you can browse. The first one being the hottest products of the summer. These are already 5% off, so you stack the code on top and you get 15% off. The other one is the overstock blowout category. Everything in this category is already marked down 15% off. So again, stack the code on top and you get 25% off. We've also partnered up with a few different brands to give you other ways to save. This one's a big one here. If you've been waiting to pick up an Infinity Design intake, now is the time to do so. They're gonna be 10% off. These are my favorite, one of my favorite intakes that I have tested on these cars. They give you power, they sound fantastic, and they look great in the engine bay. So don't wait, take advantage and get over $100 off those intakes. If you've been looking to change up the lighting on your car, whether it's tail lights, headlights, a 4th brake light, or a trunk light, Alpha Rex is gonna be 10% off, or you can get 10% off VLAN tail lights as well. Speaking of the exterior of the car, if you're looking to change things up, Compressive Tuning is a brand that you wanna check out. They will be 10% off. They have a ton of different high quality carbon fiber components that you can add to the exterior of your car. And last but not least, we've got Beat Sonic. They're also gonna be 10% off, so you can pick up one of their amps or their vehicle-specific phone holder. They usually are not on sale ever. So again, take advantage while you can. And I think that does it for updates. So now we can get to the product list. Of course, we gotta start off with some Driven Media goodness. These 2 pieces in front of me here are made specifically for the BRZ. This is the carbon fiber front bumper lip garnish. If you take a look at the front bumper of a BRZ, you'll notice that black plastic on the lower center portion of the bumper. That is exactly where this piece installs, giving you a nice eye-catching carbon fiber accent that is front and center. It's super easy to install. Just apply some double-sided tape to the back side, peel the backing off, make sure the surface is nice and clean, and then carefully slide it into place. If you pair that up with these here, it is the perfect combination. These are the carbon fiber front bumper bezels. So you have the carbon fiber in the center and then the carbon fiber vents on both sides. These are also super simple to install. They already have the double-sided tape on the backing, so you just peel it off and place it into the OEM bezels. They're available, of course, in the gloss option, the matte option, as well as a forged option. And for those of you with a GR86 that are looking to slightly change up the front look of the car, I've got these guys. These are the GR style front canards. So these install onto the sides of your bumper, giving you a slightly more aggressive profile to the front end of the car. Great for those of you that are looking to change it up a little bit, but not looking for anything too obnoxious. And unlike the OEM ones, these do not require studs, so you don't have to drill into your bumper. They have pre-cut double-sided tape included, so you just place that into position, use the included template so they go into the right spots, and then use the adhesive promoter, stick them into place, and you are set. If you want to change up the rear end of the car a little bit, we have the GR style rear side spoilers. These actually install onto the top portion of your taillights, and they do give you a little spoiler action. They're available in 2 different finishes. We've got the matte finish here, or you can opt for the gloss finish to match with the gloss black of the OEM taillights. These obviously are going to fit the OEM taillights as well as any other taillights that have the OEM shape. So these do actually fit on my Alpha Rex taillights as well, which is nice. You can swap out the taillights and still be able to add this piece to it. Super easy to install. Already has double-sided tape on the backside, so you just peel the backing off. I would probably heat it up a little bit just to get it nice and tacky. Make sure the surface of your taillight is clean, and then put these into place and apply pressure for about 30 to 60 seconds. And then don't wash your car for 24 to 48 hours to ensure that it has time to cure. And then you're set. Last up for the Driven Media stuff is this little guy right here, which I am absolutely stoked about. This is a limited edition pin of my GR86 that I had made for SubiFest. We gave a bunch away there, but we have a few left that are now up for grabs on the website. So if you want to get one of these for yourself, head on over to the website. Or if you place an order for over $200, not only do you get free shipping, but you can get a free pin as well. You just need to add this to your cart and the discount will automatically apply. But like I said, we've only got a few of these left, so get them while we still got them. Hell, if you ask nicely, I might even sign them back and write you a little love note. These next parts are from a company that I am very much honored to be working with again, and that is Access Parts of Japan. All their parts are meticulously handcrafted and designed to be the highest quality possible. The fender garnishes installed on my car that everybody asks about are from them. So I'm excited to be able to shed a spotlight on more of their products and import them in so that you guys don't have to wait the long lead times. Usually most of their products are like 90 days out. So if I have them in stock here, it makes things easier for you guys. The fender garnishes have been out of stock for quite some time now, but we are actually going to be restocking them, I think, early to mid next month. So if you've been waiting on those, now you know when they're going to be back. But let's take a look at the rest of the parts that they have offered, starting with these. These are their carbon fiber full mirror covers. And what's special about these is that they don't just cover the top portion of your mirror assembly, they literally wrap all the way around top to bottom. So you can see this is all one seamless piece of carbon that's going to completely cover your mirrors. It is definitely a unique look. And when I say the fitment on this is absolutely perfect, to be honest, you don't even need the double-sided tape that's in here. We can just pop this on there and it is not gonna go anywhere. So let me install this over on the passenger side here so you guys can take a closer look. So like I said, these are gonna cover the full mirror assembly, so top to bottom and the inner portion that's on the center of the car as well. So if you take a look at the covers, there's a slot right here for you to slide the base of the mirror in between. So I'm just gonna spread that apart and carefully slide this over the top. And that just sits on there like so. Don't even need the tape, and this is not going anywhere. Look at that. That looks amazing. Besides the carbon parts that they offer, they also have a very nice lineup of ultra suede parts, with a lot of them being full replacements. So they're direct swaps for your OEM pieces, and you don't have to worry about fitment issues because they literally use OEM parts and modify them. This here is their Ultra Suede 3-piece dashboard panel kit. So as the name suggests, it's 3 different components, and these are gonna replace the sort of lower portion of your dashboard that flows from one side to the other. So these 2 pieces here are from the driver's side and sit right next to your steering wheel column. So this is by the door here where your trunk button is. And then this smaller piece is to the right of your steering wheel column. And then the largest piece is the one that sits right above your glove box. So what they've done is taken all three of these pieces and installed their super nice ultra suede over the top portion, and then the bottom portion of each of the pieces have a layer of leather and then red stitching throughout for that super clean aesthetic. I'm tempted to replace some of the carbon pieces in the car with these instead because of how nice these are. I think a combination of both the carbon and the ultra suede would be absolutely perfect. Let me know what you guys think, but these pieces are amazing. If you are a fan of ultra suede or Alcantara or that sort of material, you're definitely going to want to check out these pieces and the next ones that I show you. The next pieces here are our pillars. So I've got the A pillars here. These are the pieces that sit on the inner side of your front windshield. This is the driver's side here. So on the front portion, we've got the leather and then the red stitching, and then the inner side, which is what's gonna be facing you when you're sitting inside the car, is the ultra suede portion. Of course, you get both sides, and then as before, these are full replacements. So you can see the fittings on the back side. You don't have to worry about this interfering with the airbag if they were to go off because they're OEM pieces. Also, I have to say, the ultra suede material that they use is so soft. I mean, you can get cheap Alcantara or suede on like Amazon or eBay, right? And I've used that sort of stuff, but it feels nothing like the material that they use. You can just tell by how it looks and how it feels that it's much higher quality. But yeah, those are the A pillars. And then over here, we have the B pillars. So these are where obviously the seat belts come out. They're right next to your seats. In the middle, you have the ultra suede portion and then the leather on both sides with, of course, the red stitching. And again, full replacements as you can see. And you get the pair of B pillars as well. This is something that I think I definitely want to install on my car because I don't have anything else to install on the B pillars. I do have carbon pieces for the A pillars, but I'm not sure if I want to run those or these. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I definitely want to run these B pillars though and get rid of that matte black plastic. This is gonna look so much better, especially paired with these seats. I've got 3 more pieces from their ultra suede lineup here. 2 of them are full replacements, and then the one over here is not, but only because it's not a place that's easily replaceable. We're gonna start over on my left here. This is their ultra suede center console side panels. So this is the piece that sits on the front lower portion, the front lower sides of your center console. And it's usually where that knee pad area is, where that triangular piece is. So what they've done is they've flattened that out with a nice piece of their ultra suede here, but you also have a slither of leather and then the red stitching right at the seam there. And I like that they used the leather here because if they did all ultra suede, right, it would just cut off right here and then transition to the matte black plastic of the center console. But what they've done instead is brought this leather down so that this transitions nicely into the matte black plastic of the center console instead of having a hard cut. So it's those little details that they've thought about that make these products that much better. So again, these are full replacement pieces that will pop in just like the OEM. And then this is probably something that you recognize. This is the ultra suede gauge cluster hood. This is all Alcantara, or not Alcantara, they're ultra suede material. And then you have the red stitching at the front edge. This is gonna be a super popular piece because it's very easy to install. You just unscrew 2 of the screws underneath the hood, and then the old one pops out and you slide your new one back in, reinstall the screws, and you are set. Now, these over here are their door trim panel. I forget what exactly they're called. It'll be down in the description, but these install onto your door cards. The rearmost center portion right above the armrest. That's why you can't, these aren't full replacements because you can't just take those pieces out and install a new one. So these go over the top of your OEM door cards. These are also all full ultra suede, but it's on top of like a fiberglass material, but it's not hard to the touch. They've actually added a layer of foam underneath that ultra suede material, so it has this soft pillowiness, plushiness when you touch it that's actually very pleasant. Then you have the red stitching that runs along the bottom and then comes up towards the top. On the backside, you have pre-applied double-sided foam tape. So you just peel this off, make sure the surface is clean, and then this installs right into place. Let's head over to the car, open up the door, and I'll show you exactly where these go. These are just gonna slide into the door handle area here, and then you tilt it down. Obviously, I'm not actually installing these, so I didn't peel the backing off, but you just press it down, and that is how it's gonna look. For those of you that are in the market for a juice pipes exhaust for your GR86 or BRZ, but the only thing that's holding you back is that you don't like the burnt tips, your prayers have now been answered because Juice Pipes just released other tip options. So not only can you choose from the burnt tips, you can go with polished, black, or even a gold option. There's still the massive 5.5-inch double wall tips, just different finishes. And don't worry, if you already have a Juice Pipes exhaust, you can buy just the tips themselves so you can swap them out depending on your preference. If the Juice Pipes exhaust is a little bit too far out there for you guys and you're looking for something a little bit more modest or maybe a JDM option, Tom's Racing has come out with another exhaust. Their first one was made specifically for their custom rear diffuser, which was a quad exit exhaust like the Lexuses, but this one is their dual exit system made for the OEM bumper, so you don't have to make any modifications. I haven't heard it in person, but it does have a large suitcase style muffler, so I would assume that it's gonna be more on the modest side, like I said, and then it has some 4.5-inch burnt titanium tips to finish it off. Let's talk about some performance enhancing parts. In front of me here, we have the Jackson Racing oil cooler kit. I actually have one of their oil coolers on my car. It's not a standalone kit, but definitely recommend one of these if you push your car to the limits or track your car, because these engines are known for high oil temps. So when the oil temp gets up there, it doesn't lubricate as well as it would if it's in that optimal temperature range. So this kit includes everything you need to keep those temperatures in check. Most important part being this set rab core here. I believe this is the 15-row option, so this is what the oil flows through and the air goes through to help keep your oil temps low. You also get these pre-cut lines with AN fittings on the end, and then all the other goodies that essentially make this a plug and play installation. It's very easy to install, very little modification of any kind. So like I said, if you track your car or you push your car really hard, I highly suggest you pick up an oil cooler so that your engine doesn't go boom. This also comes with a few different options as far as a shroud goes to help direct more air into the oil cooler. You can just get the oil cooler by itself, or you can get the raw shroud or the black shroud. Okay, also for clarification, and for those of you that are wondering, yes, I know the Jackson Racing oil cooler kit is not new, but it is new to the website. Like I said, I've worked with them in the past. I've got one of their kits installed on my car, and it's something that I've been very happy with. So I wanted to work with them and make sure that's something that we could offer for you guys. And as I continue to add more and more brands in the future, I'm gonna update you guys in these new products video. So there, just a little explanation for you guys, for those of you that are like, Kevin, those are not new, you freaking idiot. Let's talk about some brake stuff. Another company that we are partnering up with is Counterspace Garage. You guys may have heard of them. They're pretty well known in the GR86 and BRZ community. So we're gonna be offering their stuff on this site, but I wanna specifically talk about their brake pads because they have some of the best pads available for these cars and for a wide variety of different cars. Yo is actually running their pads on the BRZ TS and has done some track days and a bunch of canyon runs with them with nothing but good things to say. They have a great all-around pad. That's the CSG CP compound, which you can run on your daily driver. It's not too noisy, it's low dust, but it can handle the abuse that's going to happen when you take it out to the track. So great option for dual purpose cars. But if you guys have questions on what pad is gonna be right for you, definitely email in and we'll work with you to figure out which one is gonna be best for your application. But this is definitely a huge upgrade over the stock pads and it makes the car feel so much better and you're gonna be so much faster out on track as well. Now, I know some of you don't want to just change out the pads. You want the whole shebang. So if you're looking for a big brake kit, EBC has released their Apollo big brake kit for this chassis that features their lightweight aluminum 4-piston calipers and fully floating 2-piece rotors. A few of my friends are running this kit on their track dedicated cars and they seem to like it. Obviously, I haven't tried it myself, so I can't give you direct feedback, but my friend Peter is running it on his Time Attack BRZ and he has been absolutely killing it in the Grid Life Club TR series. Congrats to him on all the P1s in the past few events that he has attended, but they must be doing something right. So if you are looking for a big brake kit, that is another new option for you. Up next, we have another new addition to the site from 3D Mats. This is another product that I personally run in my car. There's 2 different options. Obviously, these are floor mats or floor liners, whatever you want to call them. If you are bougie and high class and you like that carpeted look, we have the Elegant series. So these have a carpet material over the top of the mat that's going to integrate very well with the carpet that's already in the car for that seamless appearance, but it's gonna give you a lot better protection versus the OEM mats that are just flat, because these go up underneath the pedals and go up a little higher on the sides as well to help keep all that dirt, grit, and grime that you drag in contained to the mat. Over here, we have the Kagu series, which is what I run in my car. Instead of the carpet, it has more of a molded, rubberized texture to it, so it's gonna be a bit easier to clean. So you just vacuum it up, pull it out, clean it up, and then it is as good as new. On the backside of these mats, on both of them, they have thousands of these needle-like bristles that grip onto your carpet once you install them so that they do not slip whatsoever. So once they're installed, they're not going anywhere until you pull them out. This is gonna do a much better job of containing all the nasty stuff that you drag into the car versus the OEM carpet mats. Like I said, they go up underneath the pedals and rise up on the sides to help contain everything. So if you care about keeping the inside of your car clean, I highly recommend you picking up a set of these. For the Kagu series, you can get just the fronts, or you can opt to get the front and rear as well. For the Elegant series, we just have the option of getting front and rear. So like I said, if you care about keeping the interior of your car clean, pick up a set of mats. These here are a great way to change up the look of the interior. This is the Billetworks Alcantara door pull strap kit. These are going to replace your door handle levers with these Alcantara straps, giving you more of a Porsche-esque feel to the interior of the car. I clearly am a big fan of the red, so I grabbed the red with black stitching, but there's also black with red stitching and a bunch of other stitching color options for you to choose from. We do currently have a few of these in stock and they are going fast, so if you want to pick some up for yourself, head on over to the website before they are all gone. And yes, I will have an install video for these later on down the road. For those of you that are looking to go full track spec on your GR86 or BRZ, HKS has released their Hypermax R Cup coilovers. So what they've done is they've taken their Hypermax R coilovers, which are their track spec coilovers, and tweaked them, done some testing, and tweaked them to better fit the Cup car that is running slicks. So keep in mind, you can't just toss these coilovers on your car and expect it to handle like a Cup car, because those tires play a very big factor in the handling characteristics of the car. That being said, these are still going to be a very nice upgrade, especially for those of you that are tracking the car versus the OEM suspension. Also, HKS has come out with their OEM style steering wheel that I'm very much interested in, because I just love the HKS color scheme. It's perfect. Oh my goodness, this car is filthy. Anyways, I live in a state that requires a front plate, and the troopers and sheriffs here are sticklers on it, that and tint. And if your state is like mine and you don't want to drill holes into your front bumper, you're gonna wanna pick up some sort of license plate relocation kit. And if you want something nice, Cobb has just come out with their own Redline carbon fiber license plate relocation kit that I think is probably one of the better options. So if you're needing to run a front plate and you don't already have a relocation kit, definitely check theirs out. Right now, I think there's only a handful of different options as far as short shifters go for the GR86 and BRZ platform. I think we've got the OEM one, we have the Billetworks short shifter, and the IRP. There might be another one that I'm missing, but those are the main three. But you guys may not have heard of the Craven Speed short shifter. This one is a little bit different because it completely deletes the reverse lockout that you would need to pull up on. For this, you just push it over a little bit further and push it up to get into reverse, kind of like the Euro car. So if you're into that and you'd rather have that option versus having to pull up on the reverse lockout, this is right down your alley. It's really cool that they were able to retrofit this into our cars so that we have a different option. But yeah, if you'd opt for that instead of the normal reverse lockout, now you have that option. Battle Garage RS is next on the list of brands we have added. They actually specialize in the A86, which I would love to own one day, but that's another conversation down the road. They also have parts for the first and second gen, one of the most important ones being this guy right here. This is their upgraded throwout bearing. This is a sealed bearing, which is gonna last a lot longer than your OEM bearing because that clutch material, dirt, and grime isn't gonna get into the system and cause it to fail prematurely like the OEM ones. And you pair this up with a Varus Engineering clutch fork and a fork pivot, and you are pretty much set. And while you're in there, you may as well do some maintenance as well and replace some of the wear items like the retainer. What Battle Garage has done is taken the OEM retainer and coated it in a Teflon coating that's gonna make it much more durable. So you can buy a kit that includes everything you need to replace, and you get the rest of this stuff, and your transmission is good to go for quite some time. Another great option from Battle Garage are their sway bar geometry correction brackets. What these do is to help alleviate the binding of your sway bars, because when you lower these cars, you change the suspension geometry, which puts the sway bars at a bad angle, causing them to bind, which will limit your suspension travel and obviously reduce the performance of your car. So these put your sway bar at a much more natural position, allowing them to work like they're supposed to. They're super easy to install. There's literally like 4 bolts in here, so it's kind of a no-brainer. For those of you with a first gen, I know I don't really talk about the first gens much anymore, even though a lot of these parts are backwards compatible besides the aesthetic stuff. Battle Garage has these wing risers specifically for the first gen BRZ. So if you have a BRZ with the wing on it and you just think to yourself, man, I wish that the wing was just a tad bit more aggressive, you can install these risers to bring that wing element just a tad bit higher and give you a bit more of a sportier look. They are super easy to install. I believe they utilize the OEM holes, so you don't have to drill holes in the top of the trunk. I think you have to modify the underside a little bit, but the top stays untouched. So this will work with your OEM wing, or you can opt for their aftermarket carbon fiber wing as well if you want to change it up. But these are very well engineered. They've got brackets to make sure that the load is transferred properly so you don't damage your trunk or anything like that as well. Definitely recommend it if you are a fan of your OEM wing but want to make it just a tad bit more aggressive. Most of you guys know that routine maintenance is a big part of car ownership. If you're not taking care of your car, you should probably start. One of the first things that I learned how to do on my car is how to change my oil. So I've been working with a team to get a bunch of different maintenance items added to the site for you guys. We've got, of course, oil, we've got oil filters, cabin air filters, air intake filters. So if you are due for an oil change or you need to do a transmission flush or anything like that, check out the items on the site to make sure your car is running in tip-top shape. And there you have it, guys. Those are some of the new products of the month. Definitely a good one. I do want to remind you guys of the Labor Day sale that's going on through the 2nd. So make sure to use that code BUYSUMMER to get up to 25% off on the site. I am beyond excited to continue to add more and more of these quality products to the site for you guys. There's lots more to come, but that is gonna do it for today. If you like something you saw, all the links will be down in the description. If you guys ever have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to ask. Comment down below, slide into my DMs, email us. We are always happy to help. And if you guys are enjoying the content, and like I said, there's a lot more to come. If you are, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic holiday weekend, and I will see you guys next time.